Now that we've got our meta tags in this page, our title, our meta description, and our meta keywords, of course we could add many more keywords to the meta tags here because that will make the search engine optimization a little bit better. But the last thing that I want to do is reformat the text and check its validation before I save it as my template. So let's go up to Commands, and you'll see Apply Source Formatting. This is a really nice feature because it makes sure that all the text is cleaned up. You can also do a cleanup XHTML and then go ahead and run that just to make sure that it runs a nice clean summary. And you'll see that if there are any problems, it generally does a pretty good job of finding what they are. Now, the last thing that we're going to do before we save this page is check the validation of it, just to see. Now, you don't have to validate your pages for them to work, but it's a really nice thing to check. So let's select all of the text with Control A. You can also go up to Edit, Select All. Then we're going to use Control C to copy all of that. Now we're going to go to the internet and find the validator.w3.org. And this is the markup validation service. And I'm going to validate by direct input. If I click on that tab, I can now paste that text with Control V into that dialog box and choose Check. Now it found some errors. Let's see. Align right. So on line 23, there's one that it does not like. So let's find out what that is. If I go back to my Dreamweaver, line 23, it doesn't like that particular image, align equals right. I guess what it wants us to do is use CSS instead. Now, we're not going to do anything about this validation, but just in case yours validates, it's definitely a feather in your cap. Anyway, what we're going to do now is save at our page as our new index file. We're going to be replacing the old index.html file with this file. So let's just do File, Save As, and we'll save it as the index file. And it will allow us, we do want to overwrite it, so that's good. Now we can close those files, and we now know that we don't need the new index file anymore because we've just saved that as index.html. So I'm going to delete that file just by selecting it and then pressing the delete key, and now it should be gone. If I go back to the index.html file, this should be the new file that we created. Now it does not have any style yet, and that's what we're going to be doing in the next tutorials. If you look at your photos page or your trails page, you'll notice right now that they are still using the old code. So we're just going to save those around for right now because we need the content from those pages. So let's go back to the index.html page, and we're going to be working on this with CSS in the next tutorial, and we'll be adding this CSS manually again. Even though we've got our existing CSS, it might not give us exactly what we want. So we're going to rebuild it from the ground up.